around the world. The UN has got a Security Council to keep the globe safe. Tune in to Security Tips on Wontumi Television with me, Alhaji Irbad Ibrahim, every Saturday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Wontumi TV, Nyame and Sawo. Haji Irbad Ibrahim on Wontumi Television. The discussion surrounding a very important exercise to our constitutional being as a country will be on the 30th of this month, June. And the Electoral Commission, come what may, God willing, will start mass voter registration. And of course, we couldn't have had this discussion with anybody than a man who is one of the major stakeholders, if not the most important stakeholder, because he presides over a region that yields the most votes for the ruling MPP. My guest tonight, as usual, is Mr. Bernard Ntribosia, fondly called Chairman Wontumi. Chairman, good to have you.
Thank you, brother.
How have you been, Chairman?
Very well, brother.
And how are you dealing with the stress, the pressure? In a day, you said you get about 100 or how many calls?
In the day, you get about 500 to 1,000.
Then you need a call receiving assistant.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
and
my assistants, they are doing well.
They are doing well with that. Mr. Chairman, before we get into the crux of the discussion, which is mass voter registration, we just heard on the news that it is possible the health minister, who was doing a yeoman's job in the fight against COVID-19, might have, quote and unquote, contracted COVID-19. And people, there's so much fear and panic in the air. And as a government official, I would want you to speak to the nation so that people will calm down as we continue with our response to COVID-19.
Yeah, first and foremost, I think that our health minister have done extremely well. You know, he has worked very hard.
Yes.
That is why even the WHO, promoted him or giving him 3 years appointment to serve on their board. So he has done well. And as you know, all great people who lead on pandemics also suffer some injuries. So I think if it is true, then he has just served, or he just been a hero for his country, because if you could remember the time Japanese the atomic blast.
Fukushima.
No.
The Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
No, I'm not talking. No. I'm not talking about that one. You see,
nuclear reactor.
The nuclear
went into the air.
The nuclear.
Fukushima.
Yeah. The doctor who was leading, he was affected. It's not new. And the time we also know that the COVID didn't start from Ghana. It starts from China. And the doctor also who was, who saw or identified the COVID also become a victim. So it's no new. If you go to England, their leader, Boris Johnson, as a prime minister, also become a victim. You also go to the same England, person like Prince Charles, great prince, also was infected.
Yes,
if you go to Canada, the Prime Minister's wife, also. So you can see that this COVID, the experience and the frontliners also are the most, high risk to them. That is why President Akufo-Addo, in his third and fourth address, he came out to say that the frontliners like doctors and the nurses who are helping, yes, he's giving them the free tax, and also he's also giving them the insurance and increasing their pays and stuff. And all the time he praised them because he knows that they are the people who can easily be affected. So once it happens like this, then it means that our minister is a human being. Is a human being. So it's not a panic. At the same time, I can confidently say that our president has done well. Starting from bringing 307 ambulances and bringing the zip line drones for the blood, and also recently the president also have supply one bus, one secondary school, and now also the president also have bring so many cars for COVID-19 for them to work. So you can see that the government is doing as much as he can do to protect his people. And recently, he also gave opportunity for one of agric business company in Ghana, bringing 20,000 kids, so that it's going to be the first time in the world that if you got the virus, they can test you instant, then they can identify and know quickly. Because the whole world, it takes more than 48 hours or more before they can identify. So now he's working closely with many institutions to bring permanent solutions to this COVID. So it's not a panic. It's no new, and I think it's something that we can handle. So if it is true, we pray for him and the family.
Chairman, you've spoken well. And of course, if you are a commander and you are not on the front line of the battle, you are not a true commander.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, let's get to the meat of the discussion. We've seen a lot of hue and cry that has undergirded the need for Ghana to get a new voter register. In 2012, there was a limited registration. And in 2013, after your party lost in the election in 2012, there was a huge election permission at the Supreme Court. What changed as a result of the events at the Supreme Court during the 2013 petition to have warranted the electoral reforms leading up or culminating in the need for a fresh new voter register before the 2020 election? What did your party learn from the election petition of 2013?
We have learned a lot, and Ghana also have learned a lot.
Okay.
The Fourth Republic has brought us new lessons for new democracy, because the first and second and third republics, we suffered in coup d'etat in our country. So the Fourth Republic becomes so dear to the politicians for us to take advantage and to develop our electoral system. So therefore, when there is no law, there is no sin. So 1992, it started whereby the military government appointed the Electoral Commission as an independent body to see through all the elections in Ghana.
Yes, sir.
So starting from 1992 to this time, you can see that our democracy has grown, and our Electoral Commission also have grown from strength to strength. We have a law to back our Electoral Commission, starting from Article 42, 1992 Constitution, Article 45, 1992 Constitution, Article 46, 1992 Constitution. It says that the Electoral Commission, they are mandatory body to write a name and also supervise all elections in Ghana. You know, so therefore, the Electoral Commission has the power to register. So you can see, 2012, what happened was that time the Electoral Commission, the chairman was Afarijan, and that time he says that he is introducing permanent solution for stealing. So he's bringing no verification, no vote as a security code in our electoral system. You know, and if you hear his explanation,
yes,
then you see that it's good, because election is not do and die. If you travel to developed countries, you will see that even if they are voting, you even see.
That's true.
You know, but now you see that once we are going to elections, you know, the religious body want to prophesy this, you see. No, you go to developed countries, you see that it's not like that. You know, but because there is a hole in our electoral system, especially our registers, starting from 1992 up to date. So the 2012, when the Afarijan says he's bringing no verification, no vote, we accepted as a political party. Even if you don't accept it, you have to agree, because the Electoral Commission, they are the people who has the right to advise or do the free and fair elections for the country, as our laws also mandated them to do. But when we went there, then we saw that what he said is not what happened. You know, then we took it to court. Now, but when we went to court, then the court called Farijan, and the NDC joined. They said they are interested party. Fair enough. We are in democracy.
Yes.
So that time, I remember when the Supreme Court, the High Court, Supreme Court asked them, is it true that some of the voter register was bloated? He accepted yes. And the ballot papers also was over voted. He said yes. Then they asked him, what is the meaning? He said it's a ballot stuffing. That time, he brought a new phrase to what has happened. And then Supreme Court brought the final verdict to the case that MPP sent it to court.
How did you feel when the president said, even though he didn't agree with the verdict of the Supreme Court, he accepted it? How was that day like for you? Were you there when the then candidate, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, spoke? And how was it? How did you feel?
I was sick that day, very, very sick, because that time I was constituency chairman.
In 2012, 2013.
Yes.
At Bosomtre. Okay.
I was constituency chairman, and I was watching the Supreme Court from day one to the last decision. So I was expecting MPP will win, and I also was expecting that even if they judge against us, the Nana Akufo-Addo also will appeal. But when he came out to say that he don't agree, but he will accept it because of the Ghana, not because of him. Then I feel proud as a Ghanaian, and from that day, I learned a lot from him, and I said, no, this man is a special man from God, because he was always saying that, give me opportunity to serve. Test me. The things that the bad things that the people are spreading against him. He said, test me. If it is so, then immediately he came out with that. And I said, no, this man is a leader. You know, he's a leader, because the statement, you know, and how he came up to say that. Yes, and after he announced it, then he said that from now, you know, he gave direction also to the MPP people. He said, from now, I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest for 6 months. You know, so everybody have to be calm. So he gave clear direction, because that time was a time that our judiciary was divided.
And that was a close, you know, verdict, 5-4.
5-4.
Yeah, very close.
Too close. So that time, the words that came from him, to me, to be sincere with you, if you ask me, why did we win the 2016 election, I would say that it's because of that. Because the people realized that the man, you know, all the bad things that they have spread, or the scandalous this thing we have spread against him is a falsehood. So the people started turning from the perception that they have for him. You know, so I think that and God also hear his cry and the people's cry. That is why he gave him the opportunity also to win, and said, okay, what do you want to do? Do it. You have opportunity. Do it.
Chairman, between the declaration by the Supreme Court and His Excellency the President saying that even though he didn't agree, he accepted it, between that fateful day in 2013 to the eve of election 2016, what went through the rank and file as well as the leadership of the MPP? Of course, you said His Excellency said for the next 6 months he was going to rest at the constituency level, regional level, national level. What was permeating through the party to have prepared the party in a solid way for that resounding victory in 2016?
That time, what I know is that was a painful time for MPP, you know, because that time we have experienced lose from 2008 elections and 2012 twice, you know, so wasn't something nice. And you know, our elections are made on 7th December, and the December is a good time for Christians, for us to celebrate the birth of Christ, you know, as our belief says. So, you know, it steals our happiness away, you know. So it was a very, you know, unhappy moments for the party. But once things happen to you, if you sit down quietly, and you think, you will see that there is a way that you can hold on for you to come up. So as a party, our leaders, they started organizing from the police station level to coordinators, to constituencies, to region, and to the national, to change everything again. So that promotes me from constituency chairman to the regional chairman.
And that was in 2014, right?
2014. Then that was the first time that the in Ashanti they elected the young and energetic young person to lead the party in our stronghold.
Are you the youngest to have served the party in the Ashanti region as chairman? Or
Yes.
there have been younger ones who have come before you?
No, I was the first person.
Congratulations.
So, and that time too, our party also, we believe in qualifications and stuff. And I don't have any qualifications. I'm not like you.
So how did you do it?
I was competing with.
Of course, one thing is for sure. That Prempeh you attended wasn't a good choice. You should have attended Opoku School.
Even the Prempeh College people,
Yes.
do you know this evening they are watching you? They told me I should take your suit and jacket from you. They said you are wearing our Prempeh College.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that time was very tough because I was competing with former Deputy Attorney General.
Really?
Yes, that is my competitor. And I remember one time he says that he cannot lead the party. If you want to lead the party, let's meet on the radio station to speak, to do the program in English. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Because the people that I'm going to talk, the other people, I'm going to campaign, they are people who understand tree.
Yes.
So I don't know why I should go on your way. But it wasn't easy, but God gave it to me for me to lead the party. So
Chairman, you just came in as a young person leading the stronghold region of the party. What new ideas did you bring? Of course, you had come in as an outsider, a businessman who hadn't gotten his feet wet on matters of politics. So did you toe the line, the direction given by His Excellency Nana-Addo and other leaders, or you came in with fresh ideas?
I came out with energy, because that time to the former now former President Mahama also has destroyed my company, Hansel Mining, seized my 500 excavators and my 400 pickups, set fire on my company and stuff. So the pain, I turned the pain into energy, good energy, So I was campaigning. It's like now, you see today how I move here left and right. I see it like a 2014 when they elected me as a regional chairman. So I campaign every single day. Every single day, I make sure that I advance, for my party to maintain their power. So I think I cried to God, and God also answered the prayers. Our prayers. They elected us before Nana-Addo came. That time he was in England.
I see.
He was in England, so I traveled from here to England and said, now, because the time I was campaigning for myself, when I went to the delegate, then they said, we want Nana back. We won Anabak. We won Anabak. We won Anabak. And that time, I was supporting Alan.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Chairman, tell me about that. I didn't know.
Yeah. I was number
so
one.
When there was a split, you belonged to the Alan Cash camp.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the time I was going to look for the chairmanship, they said, we like you, but if we give it to you, promise us that you bring Nana back. I said, of course, it's not my own company. It was something that you have to. So if you do, I also promise I will go.
Yes, sir.
I will travel to go and see Nana. So what you are saying, I will go and tell him. So the time that they elected me, then I traveled to England to go and tell him that this is what the people told me.
Wow.
So I have obligation to support you. This is the job and the mandate they have given to me. So now, then I went to Alan also to tell him this is what the people told me. So if I want somebody, then to be my father, I would have worked for my father to lead the party. But they didn't mention my father's name. They mentioned Anna's name. So I cannot disappoint them, the people who vote for me.
Yes,
and Alan also said, okay, Kwame, you can go ahead. And then I thank him. Then I move forward to go and support Nana.
Chairman, before we delve into the intricacies of the new voter register, you seem to be a likable person throughout the rank and file and the leadership of the party. What are you doing differently that other leaders are not doing with the party? You talked about energy and then your charisma. What other things are you doing, Chairman?
I love MPP. I love MPP. So anything I do, I see MPP first. So I work for MPP, and I sleep and eat MPP. I wear MPP. You can say that, even you can see on my clothes. I said, Chairman CW, Chairman Wontumi.
And there's an elephant behind you.
It's an elephant on my back. So anything I do, I see that there is a responsibility. There's a big, huge responsibility. I went to people to plead with them, and I pray to God.
Chairman, did you come into politics? This is the final question, because you mentioned a critical moment in 2014. Did you come into politics for vengeance because your mining company was destroyed, or you came in with the intent to also contribute your widow's mite to our national development as a country? Were you pained to come for revenge, or what?
It depends how you want to hear or how you will take it.
Okay.
But one way or other, it's give me the energy and the responsibility to go. If you may remember, the time David, went to war, the time he came, some people have come to his hometown to come and take his town in captives, taking the woman away and the property away. So he asked God, and God said, if you can follow them, you will catch them, take your people and your property back. So is the same. So it's the same that happened to me. I said no, I won't stay. I will go. And that we have been in power nearly 4 years now.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Have you recovered fully from the damage that was caused?
No, even not one excavator. No. And the time we won the power also, I'm not in any board. No. And I didn't also ask for any position in the government. No, I didn't. If it is revenge or avenge, I would have asked for something fatty into the decision. But no, it's not like that. It's not. It's not. But I know one day I'll get my things back, and I must. Because it's something that I work for. It's not MPP who give my wealth to me.
Wow.
It's God
Wow.
who, saw that I'm doing right, and then He
Chairman,
blessed my things.
the original party at Oforikrom, was it a long lease you did for the party when it was in opposition, or you bought the property for the party?
No, I didn't buy it. I rented.
For how many years?
I rented for 10 years, and then now I have bought a land. I have bought a land for the party, and we are trying to build the office. Yes, we are trying.
So in 2024, you will not renew for the new office in Oforikrom.
No, if you have yours, you go and thank them, and then.
Chairman, enough of your background from the laws and then the election 2013 petition. Chairman, what is in this new voter register that IPRAN, a coalition of opposition political parties, are kicking against it? And only in the past week, I learned about 100 or so lecturers from various universities came out to say we are treading on dangerous grounds. But I learned some of the lecturers came back and said, no, I am not a party to this petition or whatever. What is in this new voter register that is causing a lot of hue and cry?
You see, some of the good lawyers we have in the country are acting ignorantly on our laws that we have to govern the 1992 Constitution or the Electoral Commission. I saw that last week the NDC people went to Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court asked them, the two questions that you brought to court, we can see that is the same. So we draw one. Then they said that they know the Electoral Commission can go ahead to register. This is what the NDC Tabaclo responded. Even before he's going to answer, he said, can I go and meet the party people before I can come and answer these questions? To me, I think that they want to act ignorance on the law, but it doesn't permit them, for them to do what they want to do for themselves, because we have a great picture. What is important is Ghana, not NDC, not MPP. So this law has been exist, for a long time, since from 1992.
Yes,
so for you acting ignorant doesn't mean that you can have your way. The law is law. So I saw that the law disgrace them in the Supreme Court. So I think now they have learned their lesson. They know that the registration of the voter register is on the custody of Electoral Commission, not in the political parties, for them to, I quite remember on the 4th November 2016, whereby our former president, then he was a president, he came out to say that we should trust and believe the Electoral Commission. So therefore, what happened? What has changed? For the same person to say that, if I lose, I'm not going to accept it. It's a bad decision. We take it like His words wasn't a state person. This is not a statesman. We was expecting for him, to speak like a statesman. The same words that he said on the 4th November 2016. We want him to repeat it. He cannot use emotions to speak. The laws remain the same. 1992, after, what do you call it? After the referendum, they used the 3 months to prepare the register for us to go to the elections. And the 2012 too, they brought no register, no verification, no vote. And 2016 too, they changed the logo. 3 months to the elections, they changed the logo. Even the 2012, John Dramani Mahama, our former president, 4 months to the elections, he brought up 45 new constituencies. This is what he brought. Wasn't the same thing that he brought. So what is new? And you also have opportunity, the 2016, for you also have a new chairperson for the Electoral Commission, in the person of Charlotte Osei. All these people was in favor of you, because starting from 1992 to 2016, the Electoral Commission was the chairperson or the chairman was appointed from the PNDC to NDC. The only time that it happened for the change, really, was the 2017-2018, when they started reporting themselves to Yoko, to the Chief Justice, before they brought this for them to change from Charlotte Osei to J. Mensah. So I haven't seen any change, but the laws remain the same. The laws from 1992, it's not that PP who made it.
Chairman, you always say you are not spokesperson for the Electoral Commission. Some have argued that it's the same register that was used for the assembly election. So if it was flawed, why was it used for that? For us to need a new one before the election? The same BVRs, the same biometric voter registration devices. So why? What has changed?
Okay, I want to, the law.
Yeah.
We make a law and we use wisdom to interpret
Yes,
laws, So yes. I'm going to try to use wisdom to interpret it.
Yes, sir.
Electoral honorable assembly members was elected through electoral areas. Okay? But when we talk about the honorable MPs and the president, we elected and give them special code through their various regions and their constituencies. 2016, we used to have a region called Bunahafo. So they used to have a different code for the Bunahafo. Now, in 2020, we don't have any region in Ghana called Bunahafo. We have Bunu, we have Ahafo region, we have Bunu East. So what code are we going to give it to them? That's my first answer. Ashanti, we have our code. And the second answer also is that the 2016, our regions used to be 10. So we have 10 codes, secret code. Now we have 16 codes. So how are we going to do the elections without the code, given the new codes? So therefore, it's so appropriate for us to do the new registration for all the regions to have their code, because every region is a region. Although Ashanti, we have the population, but every region have specify this in for us to call it as a region. So anything Ashanti have, all the regions remain the same. All the region, you cannot say maybe geographically or scientifically you can be bigger than one region. But when we say region, it remains the same. So every region, I think it's their right for them to have their code. So it is better that we register. You go to voter. Now we have 40. And the northern region, 2016, we used to have 3 regions, now 5. So who is going to use the code? You go to western, now it's 2. So who is going to use the code?
Mr. Chairman, what's the relationship between the NIA's Ghana card and the new voter ID card we will have? Will it be dependent upon the NIA registration and other Ghanaians who own passports, or they are a cat and chicken thing? Without the NIA card, your chances of getting a new voter card are going to be difficult.
You see, national identification card is a national identification card, and electoral commission card is an electoral commission card to vote. We use electoral commission card to vote. And national identification card is identity to show that you are Ghanaian. You know, yeah. Abu Ramadan and Evans Nemako, when they took the electoral commission to court, you know, the court came up with the verdict that our voter register has been bloated, whereby they prove that we have a lot of foreigners who have a national health insurance card, you know, and because of that, the court judged that they should go and clean the electoral register. When they mention it for us to go and clean, that time the electoral commission did not do their job properly according to the current administration, the same electoral commission. So therefore they said, the electoral commission said, our register has been bloated, not MPP register. We have our political register, and NDC also have their political register. You will see that from 2012 to even 2016, the NDC political register changes, whereby the 2012, the NDC people, they said that they are going for mass voting register. So they let everybody who want to who want to vote to go and vote or register. So even from them, from 2012 to 2016, NDC register has changed. But that responsibility is only NDC people to make their own laws, you know. But the electoral commission, they said that if you want to come and register on the 30th, you need either you have a passport or you need a national identification card to come and register. And once you register, you also can guarantee for 10 people, and the 10 people also can guarantee for 100 people, because 1 is to 10 and 10 is to 100 and 100 is to million. You see, so they have given us provision for us to do, you know. But the NDC was saying that why we cannot use the old card to register. The answer is that because the old EC card, some of the people use national health insurance card to register, so they cannot know. Either you use the national health insurance to do. So this is an opportunity for us to clean our register, for us to move forward in in our electoral system for us to have a clean and fair election forever. You know, because we cannot keep on all the time spending millions and stuff, and once you get to the elections, you know, it's like the country is going to end up. You know, so the Electoral Commission is saying, no, we need something permanent.
Chairman, this good example, this statesman explanation you are giving us today, has the EC explained that to the opposition parties who are resisting this thing?
They know, they pretend, they don't want to. They don't want to. You see, last week, the General Secretary of NDC came up to say that it's not the election that we go to vote that lets somebody, a political party, win, but rather, if you have the EC, then you win. This is the explanation that he give it on the public. You know, it's an unfortunate statement that Asiedun Katia made it. You know, but I think making the register is important than any political party. So it's up to EC, according to their laws that they are having. They are only mandatory body to make registration for our elections. So if they come out to say that we are going to register, they have done this balloting already. Left with they have come up with the date, you know, on the 30th. So on the 30th, the grounds has charged already. We are ready to go and register for us, because the only way you can say you are a Ghanaian, truly Ghanaian, is to participate. You know, you are right on the voting day, and you cannot vote without being registered. You know, so if you are 18, it's normal that, you know, you go and register, then you go and vote. So we are going to take advantage of the system to encourage our people on the 30th for them to go and register. Above all, you know, we have the CI 91, you know, means the limited registration. The CI 91 alone cannot permit the EC, according to our laws, to do the general elections. So we have two registration. That is limited registration, and we have mass registration. You know, so every 4 years, you know, we register twice, the 2 years to election. That is the limited registration. And then few months to the election, we do the mass registration. Then we do the exhibition. We do the exhibition before we go to election. But now, we are combining the CI-91, the CI-12, and 55 and the rest. They said that we are going to do the new one. So you can see clearly that even if we are not doing the new registration, still the people who have reached the 18 and 19 years, the first time voters, they are going to register in any way. And still, you also will do the exhibition to check either your name is there or not. You know, so what is new? Going to register new one. What is new?
Chairman, you've given a very good example. Chairman, I'll give you a list of important institutions that are for and against this exercise. I'll start with those that are against it. The National House of Chiefs, no mean an institution in the country, we are told, has got reservations to an extent that it even wants to have an engagement with the Electoral Commission to resolve this issue. Does it come as a surprise to you that such major stakeholders, these chiefs, they are major stakeholders in our election, peace and security? Why don't they understand the things you are explaining to us right now?
Sometimes become the position that they will take. You know, the House of Chiefs, normally they have office opposite of Benchia. That's the place our king, His Majesty Otufo Osetutu has given to them. So we was here when Asiedun Katia, the General Secretary of NDC, and then Mahama Ayarekov, they call it Ayarekov, and Bernard Mona. They went there to petition that the House of Chiefs have to call the Electoral Commission, and then according to the article, our Constitution, Article 46, it says that no other institution, can mandate overcome the or can order the Electoral Commission to do whatever. So, Electoral Commission, I think they find it a little bit, offensive, because when they call they have a body that is called IPAC for all the political parties to come and bring their problems and their suggestions and everything there. When they call the NDC people, they said, no, we don't want to come. So NDC want to choose what is good for them, for Electoral Commission to come. So Electoral Commission also, I think I'm struggling to explain it. So Electoral Commission also find out that, no, these people, we have given you opportunity for us to meet in the IPAC. You said, no, you are not coming. You are not coming. You are not coming. You are not coming. And we have our institution. We have our institution based on our law, 19th Article 42, Article 45, and 46, and other CI also to back them, and LI, and all these things is not backed by. It's not me, Wontumi, who made the laws. They made the law in the Parliament. They made it in the Parliament.
Wow.
And Parliament from the Fourth Republic.
Chairman, sorry, I'll be budging in from time to time. We have a caller. Your name and where you calling from? Okay, so now you can call us now. The phone lines are opened. You can see the numbers crawling on your screens. Okay, Chairman. Yeah. So, Chairman, do you see this as a show of bad faith, or there needs to be goodwill on all sides, or there is a suspicion that a new register will tip the balance of advantage in favor of the incumbent party?
You see, if you come back into the decision, the chiefs, we all have the chiefs and we serve them well. But we also know that.
Okay, some are listening to us on radio. You can call us on 0322 498404. I repeat, 0322 498404 or 0322 498403. Okay, we have a caller. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Joshua Makubu.
Okay, you calling us from?
Hello?
Yeah, you calling from where, Josh?
Yeah, I'm calling from Accra.
Okay, welcome.
University of Ghana campus.
Okay, welcome. Make your point, Josh.
Yeah. Actually, I want to thank Chairman Wontumi for being fantastic on his presentation.
Okay.
I think the NDC is trying to drag this nation back. For we all know that the Electoral Commission is an independent institution and they have the capacity, as the former President John Mahama alluded to. So the NDC should stop all this noise and let's go and do a new register for a credible election.
Thank you so much, Joshua from Accra. Thank you for calling. Yeah, another caller. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Mohammed.
Can you speak up a bit, sir?
My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Sawaba.
Okay, welcome to the show.
I'm greeting all my members of Electoral Youth Meeting as well.
Okay.
All sentence Chairman Wontumi for registration about the registration.
Okay.
But there is one thing Chairman to do for me is we just don't go use. We want to go and mass registration for the new budget register. But we have a problem in Aswati that we don't know anything. We have not seen any preparation towards the registration. We own about 300 youth, natural youth names. We want to register them, but we have not seen anything. We don't know what is going on at what.
Okay.
But that's what I want someone to do for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I think it's an operational thing. Chairman would have to look at. And they want to mobilize for the registration. Hello, we have another caller. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Your name and where you calling from, sir?
Sorry, my name is Aka Junior. I'm calling from Mampong, Asante Mampong.
Okay, you're welcome. What's on your mind?
In fact, I'm struggling to understand what Chairman is saying.
Okay.
In fact, for a better word, I don't know how to describe everything he's saying. It's that he's just mixing up the words. The point is very clear. He still has the power, but the power that he has is not sacrosanct. He can't exercise that power in vacuum. He's exercising the power on the people of Ghana. And look at the time period. Is it proper to do it? This is what the chairman should be addressing, not to be speaking this bogus English he's speaking.
Hello. No. Hello, caller. Please remain on the line. Oh, I think the line dropped. This platform is one of the most accommodating platform for divergent opinions. I would have wanted him to remain on the line so that Chairman would explain things to him. And Chairman, he has concerns about the time. You mentioned that in '92, and the nation had 3 months to have a good register for the election. So people say the time is too short between now and December. Okay. Is that a strong argument?
Okay. Now, left with, we have a time like 6 to 5 months to elections. Mm-hmm. As I said, on 1992, we did two things. 1992, mm-hmm. we did a referendum, and then we did, after the referendum, then we did the registration in 1992. So that time, we have 3 months to the elections, and then NDC won. And 2012, 4 months to the elections. Then they also did create 45 constituencies. My brother, you can check. You can check. In 2012, they brought 45 new constituencies, also to add up to our constituencies that we used to have. That we used to have about 230 constituencies. Then they brought 45 to become 275. And 2016 too. And the same 2012. Then they brought no verification, no vote. If you can take your time to check. Okay. And then 2016 to 3 months to the election, they also came out to change the logo. That time we used to have a government official logo on it. And then they said, no, they want to change a new logo. And even the same 2016, if you recall, go back, Google and check. My brother, check. Don't use emotions to talk. 2016, specifically, on the 4th November, the former President Mahama, then he was a president, he came out emphatically to say that we should believe and trust the EC. We should allow the EC to do their job. You can even go to for them to know. He said, the former president said, we should believe the EC. We should allow him to do his job. If you don't agree with them, let your political leaders, go to IPAC to express their democratic right, in the IPAC. but we should trust them. And this is I think.
Chairman, on the 4th of April, Graphic reported that His Excellency, the former president, said, leave EC to do its work. President Mahama admonishes political parties.
You see, and you see clearly, before you can speak in the big platform like this, you have to do the research before you can speak. So
we are beginning to wrap up, Chairman.
Yes.
In closing, of course, come rain or shine, if God gives us long life and good health, on the 30th, people will come out and register. What would be your closing remarks?
What I would say is that we are not in normal times, and still all the political parties have agreed that we have to do the elections. So now we are living with coronavirus, deadly disease. So everybody have to observe and follow all the protocols and procedures about the coronavirus.
Yes,
so once you are going to the register center, because it's not going to be like our normal registration. So Electoral Commission has brought us some education. So we have to keep on educating, and we also have to learn. So once we are going to register, we don't have to spend more time there. Once you finish, wash your hand, your sanitizer, your face mask, and go home, to avoid any increases of the sickness or the risk about your health. So this is the pieces of advice that I think I can give it to everybody.
What if people who don't have the required forms of identification, the Ghana card and the passport, and they don't have anybody to serve as to give a testimony as a witness that they're indeed Ghanaians, and they go there? How would you call for calm on the part of EC officials and then the nation generally?
You see, Ghanaians know themselves, because we are doing it in an electoral area basis. We know ourselves, so you have to go to your area to go and register. And we also have a complaint form. If you don't agree, you can also exhibit or write your complaint down. And then I think the complaint form, the EC will take, they will go about. So it's not only about national identification card or the passport. You also have somebody who also can guarantee for you. And the ratio 1:10, 10 is to 100 is to 1,000, and 1,000 to 1 million. That is the ratio.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. You have made the issue, which looked so complex, very simple for our viewers. I had this spirited conversation with a calm and collected statesman, so to speak, regional chairman for the ruling party, Mr. Bennett Entry Bosianko, fondly called Chairman Wontumi. Till we come your way another time with security tips, keep watching Wontumi Television. Bye-bye.